internet lands. My name is Jaimelyn Gray. I am the host of this program called You've Got a Thing, an interview thing about Milwaukee theater things. Thank you so much for joining me today. We've got a great, I should need to stop saying that. I've got a great interview for you today. With Mary MacDonald Kerr, who is a fantastic artist here in Milwaukee, and lots of other places as well. But I had the opportunity to see the children yesterday, and it was a very good show. I was really thrilled that I got the opportunity to see it. I had read it a while ago, so I was really glad to be able to catch it while it was still going, because it is closing soon. So you do need to get your butts in there if you want to check that out. By Lucy Kirkwood. It's a great story. It was written after the Fukushima nuclear disaster, and it really plays off that about what we are leaving behind for our children and things of that nature. But it's super funny. I would classify it as a dark comedy just because of its themes. But it really is an engaging show. Really great performances by the three actors in that show. Really well directed, and by Marie Kohler, and I highly encourage you to go out and catch that before it's done this weekend. So get your butts out there and make sure that you make that happen. And so we'll get to that interview in just a few here, but I do want to go over some events that are also happening here coming up. Well, actually, also closing soon is Frankenstein the Musical over at Skylight Music Theatre. It's probably something you have not seen before, because this is actually a new work. We did talk to Mr. Michael Unger last week about this show, and so I am hopefully going to catch it this weekend, because I'm a little behind on that. But I think that you should also try to get to see this. So you've got the children to go and see, and you've got Frankenstein to go and see. So get your tickets and get in there to go and see these things that are closing really soon here. Frankenstein the Musical is exactly what you would think it would. It's based on Mary Shelley's original novel. They tried really hard to keep as close to the source material as possible. Again, you can go and check out my interview with Mr. Michael Unger on that to learn more about the ins and outs. And it's got some really great special effects and all those things. So I think this, if you're a fan of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, if you're a fan of new musicals, this is definitely something for you. But it's also going to be something just a little bit out of the ordinary. If that's not something that you're used to, I just highly recommend you to go out and check it out for the new work kind of reasons. So you can go to smtmke.org and check that out and get your tickets and all the things for that show. Again, Frankenstein the Musical at Skylight Music Theatre. Then next we have, this is a happy belated opening to Milwaukee Chamber Theatre. It's a TRE on that. To Every Brilliant Thing, which from all accounts is in fact a brilliant show. And so this is one of those, they call it a warm-hearted favorite. It really is a, a gift, as a lot of people have called it. And it's going to be at the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, rather than, because normally they're in the Studio Theater, the Broadway Theater Center. This is not there. It's at the Milwaukee Youth Arts Center, which is also where they did an Iliad earlier in the year. And so you can go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org to check out all the information and intel on that. It's featuring James Carrington and Elise Edelman, and directed by Molly Rohde. It opened last week, and it's going to run through the 16th. You need to see this. It says that it showcases the little things that make life worth living. It does discuss suicide and depression, but it does it in a really engaging, it's in the round. It's a really engaging piece of theater. I myself am going to catch it next week. But I think that if you're looking for something that's gonna lift your spirits a little bit, this is definitely one of those pieces to make that happen for you. And so every brilliant thing at Milwaukee Chamber Theater, you can go to MilwaukeeChamberTheatre.org to check that out as well. And next we have Interchange Theater. Busy, 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 always busy, busy, that place. It really is a real working improv place, that Interchange Theater. Their website is interchangetheater.com. They're having their student showcase this Saturday. They also have tonight their weekly open mic at Interchange Theater. If you're looking for somewhere to share your own talents, your own comedy, it's open and ready for you to play. And so you can go again to Interchange Theater. This is a TER.com for more information about their student showcase coming up this weekend, Saturday, March 8th, 7:30 p.m., featuring Just a Snack and Smutless, which I guess are the teams that are graduating this level 5 program for Interchange Theater. And as I said, just go to their website. They are really super busy doing all kinds of improv things. They're a super fun group of people, and it's a really great theater the Constructivists have performed in there as well. And so I would highly recommend to you to go and check that out. And hopefully you can get over there, and we'll see you over there. Next we have so many things. Let me show you this here. This is Kids from Wisconsin is on their tour of their audition tour. And the reason that I want to show this and remind you is because they have open auditions. You can do walk-ups. They take walk-ups for auditions. So this is going to be in Wausau, center of the state there. If you are in the Wausau area and you are looking for Kids from Wisconsin to show your stuff and go on tour with them this summer, you can go to kidsfromwisconsin.org. Or sorry, I always say that, and it's not correct. Kidsfromwi.org. Kidsfromwi.org to find out all the information you need to know about what Kids from Wisconsin is doing this summer, where they're going to be to audition, and you can make that happen by, again, going to kidsfromwi.org. Go audition for them. I keep saying this. My mom did Kids from Wisconsin back in the 70s, and she said it was the best time of her life ever. So maybe it'll be your best time of your life ever if you want to check that out. So those are the events that we have, but also it is Women's History Month. That's what we do in March, and every year March is designated Women's History Month by presidential proclamation. It's set aside to honor women's contributions in American history. It began as a local celebration in Santa Rosa, California, in 1978, and you can go to womenshistory.org to check that out, to just get the basics of how women's history started, how Women's History Month started. And there's a lot of us. It's, just over half the world's population. I'm sure you know a woman somewhere out there, maybe your mom. Okay. And last but not least, another thing that we are celebrating this month is Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. This person here that I am showing you is my 23-year-old daughter, Aurora. Aurora just celebrated a birthday. She is my only child. I talk about her a lot, just in terms of visibility. I think it's really important to know and see disabled persons that are around you. There's a long history of hiding disabled persons away, and I think it's a really important thing to know and recognize that there. I think it's some 25. I'd say that with covering my mouth. Like 25% of the population identifies with a disability of some sort. I will find better information on that next time. But Princess Aurora Lillian is on Instagram. If you would like to follow Princess Aurora Lillian, we don't get a lot of postings out there, but we do our best to shine a light and be visible. Aurora was born with a partial trisomy of the 16th chromosome, and it's extremely rare, but she is just a wonderful, wonderful person. She is so funny. She's charming. Anybody will tell you this. She does really fancy herself a princess. I did not name her Aurora after the princess, even though Princess Aurora from Sleeping Beauty is my favorite princess. She was actually named after the Aurora Borealis is what she was actually named after. So, but you can go to the National Association of Councils on Developmental Disabilities to find out more information about how you can support disabled persons, and this month was is actually established in 1987 by President Ronald Reagan. So Ronald Reagan was the instigator behind recognizing this month as a Developmental Disabilities Awareness Month. I think it's really important, again, to know and recognize and just see disabled persons around you. That's humanity, man. That's humanity. So that's what I got. Sorry, I'm a little scatterbrainy today. I'm so sorry. I don't know. You know what it is? I'm trying to memorize a play for the first time in 8 years, and it's going okay, but it really has put me in a spot of recognizing my own age. So yay for me. But anyway, what I've got for you today, and you can go to Milwaukee Theatre Alliance.org also to check up on all of these things, and find more information about all these plays, and give you links to websites and things like that. That's always a good place to go as well. Milwaukee Theatre Alliance.org is a good place to get resources for performances. We do our best. And so now I have for you a wonderful interview with a wonderful artist, Mary MacDonald Kerr. Again, saw her yesterday in The Children, and it was just a really, really, really good show. Really glad I got to check that out. So here for you is a great interview. Okay, and with me today, I have a wonderful Milwaukee artist, Mary MacDonald Kerr, to talk to us about the current production of The Children, which is happening over at Next Act Theater here in Milwaukee. Thank you so much for your time today. And
oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah, thank you. So I just want to start, just in case. I never like to assume, that people know who any of us are at all. So, could you possibly just tell us a little bit about your artist journey and how you even ended up at Next Act doing the role that you're doing at Next Act?
Okay, well, I've been a theater artist in the Milwaukee theater community for 30 years. This is my 26th show at Next Act Theater. I've been
Holy cow!
forever. Yeah, holy cow. I work a lot at Chamber Theater and Next Act and Renaissance, and a bit at the Rep. And I recently started as a full-time professor down at UW Parkside, and so I feel like a real member of the community here. My first show at Next Act was Fool for Love back in like 1995, I think. So I've been with them for a long time.
That's great.
Yeah.
So
we're working on this play with people that we've had, I've had a relationship with the guy who's in it and the woman who's directing it for 30 years as well. So that's been really, really wonderful.
And who is the guy that's in it? And who is
Brian Monty, who plays Robin in the show, and he's a fabulous actor. He's a core company member at American Players Theater, and he's been around Milwaukee doing theater for a really long time. And his wife is Marie Kohler, who's the director, and she also has she's one of the founding members of Renaissance Theater, and she's a playwright, and she's very, very accomplished, degreed person. And so we've had a great time.
That's some deep Milwaukee and Southeast Wisconsin roots you got in that show there. That's fantastic. And I mean, so I'd like to ask how you like working at Next Act, but it appears that you like working there a lot.
A lot. I do. I've loved it. I was there for a very long time when David Cesarini, who was the founding artistic director who kind of founded the company, and he recently retired after a long and storied career. And now the new young buck artistic director is Cody Estel, and he's been just a delight. And I'm really grateful that he was interested in doing this play about older people. And so that's a gift always whenever, there's not as much as written about people my age as, 20 years ago. So when really good plays come along with really interesting people who happen to be in their 60s, it's really wonderful. And so it continues to be a fabulous place to work.
Yeah. The production photos that have come out of are just beautiful. It looks just like a really great show to look at. This is actually a play. I said this a couple times on this podcast that I was looking at for the constructivists, because it's intense.
Yeah.
It's a real I hate to say this because some people, it just turns some people off, but it's like it's a real thinking piece. It's something that will leave you wanting to know sort of like where the story goes and like the beyond of what you actually see.
Yeah, and I think you also leave questioning, what would you do? What would I do in this situation? And that's the best theater of all to me, is when people are having arguments about either what they think happens next because the playwright doesn't hand it to them, or whether they have to take a look at what their own morality would be in a certain situation, or what their own obligations to their fellow humans would be. And plus, it's so personal that even though it's a thinking play and it's about a kind of heady topic, it's also about these three people and their very personal relationships.
Yeah.
And working through that as well, which makes it very human. And I think it's very compelling, and it moves very quickly. And it's also really funny. Like, you wouldn't think that this topic would be funny, but Kirkwood did a great job of making it darkly comic and absurdist sometimes, and little bit of Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf in there. And so it's really there's a lot going on. It's quite a tight rope act to step on, because it's an hour 40 straight through, and a lot happens, and so it's really a joy to work on.
I love those. Those are my favorite. Yeah. So can you tell us the basis of the story without giving too much away?
Try to do that. So it takes place in Suffolk, England, a coastal city in northern England, where there is in real life, a nuclear power station. The circumstances that the playwright gives us are basically the circumstances of the Fukushima accident. There's been a tidal wave that has put a nuclear power plant underwater in a bad way and caused a big accident, and the area is now in full disaster mode. No electricity, no cell, no, that kind of stuff, radioactive. It's very dangerous to be there. And these are retired 3 nuclear engineers who were in on the team that built the original plant, and they have a deeply personal, screwy relationship with each other, and they're faced with coming out of retirement to possibly have something to do with the cleanup and the what happens next. And it's a real witty, deep, personal look at what is the generational responsibility to each other. If we created a world that's screwy, do we need to clean it up for the young folk? Is that our responsibility? And so there's some big questions, but it's also, I think, really exciting to watch, because there's a lot of wild things that happen that you have to watch actors do and go through, and so I think, and the set is fabulous, and at next act, everybody's within 30 feet of you. There's no, so you're really in the room with the audience, having the experience with people, and some people are 4 feet away, so it's a perfect play for that space, I think.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm going to see it next week, so I'm very, very excited about it. Okay. What do you think people? Why do you think it's the big reason why people should see this show? I know why I want people to see this show. But
well, I don't want to get too political, but I feel like we as humans right now are wasting a whole lot of time arguing about stuff that's not the most important thing. And to me, the most important thing is what's happening to our world, because it doesn't matter who's in charge if we don't have it anymore. Right. And while this isn't a piece about global warming, but it is a piece about what is our relationship to our world, what is our relationship to each other, what are our obligations, and what does a meaningful life mean, and also what is life after 60 supposed to be for? Like, what are you supposed to have as much fun as you can and not care about taking care of yourself because your days are numbered? Or do you take incredible care of yourself and you never have any fun and you're going to live until, what is quality of life versus quantity of life? And what's your relationship to your kids? And do you have an obligation to leave them and make them stand on their own? All of those things. So I think even though it's about 3 people in their 60s, I think it's very intergenerational. And I think I had my Parkside, a class of 70 students between 18 and 25 come and see it last week, and they loved it. And they thought it was hilarious, and they thought it was moving. And they appreciated that someone was out there saying, I think we need to take care of this because they're not responsible. So that, and this is based on also what the employees of Fukushima did.
Yeah.
And how what the decisions that were made about who was going to be in the most dangerous spots,
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
I think that it's one of those pieces that it almost just feels like, because sometimes, particularly with thinking pieces, you can be overloaded with information and feeling and things like this. But what I love about this story the most is that relief of the comedy that comes along with it,
Mm-hmm.
that makes it feel like a really good story. It's just a really good story.
Yes. And I don't
very,
think it's
very engaging.
Finger at you, right? I don't think it's because we've had enough of those since the pandemic. I think that we've seen
100%
trooped off to the theater to get our beating, and that's not what this play does. I don't think at all. But just raises questions. It's like, what do you think? So, I like that.
Yeah, I feel that. I feel the same way.
I also want to mention the third actor in the play is this fabulous woman from Chicago named Shariba Rivers, who understudied the Steppenwolf production. Yeah. And so she's so delighted to be able to be in it and have a full-fledged production of it. But she came to it with a lot of knowledge of the script, having gone through that was a wonderful shortcut to have, her in the room who was really familiar with how the piece worked. And she's been delightful and fabulous. So it's nice to also have somebody. It's not just a bunch of Milwaukee cronies patting each other on the back. Another fabulous new person. So that's great too.
That's great. That's great. So if people want to go and see the show, it closes. When does it? What's the actual day?
March 9th, not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
It closes March 9th. And if people want to get tickets, they can just go to nextact.org. And is there also a pay what you can performance?
Monday night, there's a pay what you can. And then we have a 1:30 matinee on Wednesday if you can't come at night. And then Wednesday night, Thursday night, Friday night, 4:00 on a Saturday. It's an hour 45. You're at the restaurant by 7, and a 2:00 matinee. So both this weekend and the next weekend. But the weekends are selling, so you need to, if you're going to do the weekend, go now.
There's real great word of mouth on this one. So I would say it's going to sell out closing. So just get your tickets now and don't even worry about scrambling at the last minute. Do not scramble at the last minute for this show. Go to nextact.org, get the tickets right now, and save yourself some stress.
There you go.
Well, Mary MacDonald Kerr, thank you so much for your time again, and I look forward to seeing the show. And you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you so much.
And there you have it. Just a great artist. I am in awe of the artists in Milwaukee. Sometimes there's really a wealth around us here in Milwaukee, and I'm just so proud to be part of this theater community. And so that's what we have for you today. if you have any questions or needs, please reach out. Sometimes I feel like I'm just speaking to the void, and that really drives me a little crazy sometimes, but I would love to hear from you. If there's something that you would like to see, or there's somebody, an artist that you would like to have spotlighted. We do have a tendency to just I do have a tendency to stick to the members of the Theater Alliance, because there's a lot of things happening just in the Theater Alliance, but would not be opposed to spotlighting people outside of that little community inside the community as well. So would love to hear from you if you have some intel that you would like to share and that we can spotlight. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope that you gleaned some fantastic information to benefit you on your in your life today. And I hope to catch you next week, and see you then on You've Got a Thing.